Hi and welcome back. I'm Emma from Carlijn Designs and today I want to share a fun and easy card idea which can be used for everyone. So let's get started. I start with taking out a card front and I put two masking tape strips on the paper. I don't put them parallel to each other so I don't have to measure anything. And I also take out a stencil. This is called Scribbled Circles by Carlijn Designs and I lay it on top of the card. I use my magnetic base to keep the stencil in place. It might shift sometimes, but when it happens, it's really easy to line it up again. This card I made was for my brother's birthday, and as his favorite color is yellow, I decided to go with yellow and orange shades. But I think this layout is very easy to adapt to the recipient by using another color combination or changing the focal point. So I start with Limoncello as a yellow color and then I continue with orange twist. With blending it's important you build up the color slowly. So first I blend the colors a first time to have a base layer and later I go in another time to really build up the color to the intensity that I want. Personally, this way has helped me to get a better blend between the colors for dyings. This type of card where there is some ink blending going on using a stencil and some masking tape, this is my go-to technique for when I want to create a card but I don't really have much inspiration, I don't really know what to do and so on. And by doing this technique, this type of card, it really helps me to get started and get creative again. The next step is optional, but what I like to do is I like to go over the stenciled area once more after lifting up the stencil. So this way the white lines are very lightly blended as well and it adds a bit more contrast to the rest of the white card. And when you take off the purple tape, you can see the difference even more compared to the white area. Next I take out the yellow ink pad again and I put some ink on my craft surface and I add some water to it. This I can splatter onto the card and I also do the same with the orange inks as well. As it is a dye ink, it dries back a little bit, so it's more a subtle look, but I think it adds some extra to the card. When the background is done, I take out a rectangular die, so I can choose which part I like the most. And I run it through my die cutting machine off screen and then I glue it onto the card base. Next we need a sentiment. For general birthday cards like these, I really like to use this stamp set from Altenew. It has 17 or 18 different fonts to match with the card style and the recipient as well. So for this card I first went with this font and I played around a little bit with the positions of the words, and for this it's also easy to have the focal point already on the card. But in the end I thought the words were a little bit too long, so I changed it to a taller but smaller font. And this worked much better for me personally, so I finalized my decision and stamp it in black ink. The focal point of this card is from a set by My Favorite Things. It's called Hangout and Celebrate and I already stamped and colored it off screen. I've also popped it up on some foam tape to stand out more. And that finishes off this card. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more card inspiration for masculine cards, click on the playlist shown on the left. And if you don't want to miss any new videos, don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye!